Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video I'm going to teach you how to make Iro and Buba for a girl child of 4 years old. So this is 2 years of Hadire. So I'm going to be using this for the gele and also the Iro and Buba. Okay, so let's just dive straight into the cut. This is 35 inches into places. So I'm going to take a half yard because that's what I'm going to be using for a gele. So we'll use the remaining to cut the Iro and Buba. So this is the half yard that I'll be using for a gele. Okay, so this is it. Now this, I'm going to cut the wrapper first. So the length of a wrapper is 18 inches. 18 inches. So I'm adding 2 inches to it for the hemming allowance here and here, because I'm going to be using half to hem it here and also on top. So that's 20 inches. What we have left here is 1.5 yard. Okay, so I folded it so that it will be easy for me to cut. So this is 1.5 yard. That is what I'm going to be using for the wrapper. Okay, so I'm just going to cut this part out. This is the wrapper. Okay, and set this one aside for our wrapper. Okay, so this is the gele, this is the wrapper. Okay, so now let's cut the buba. Okay, so this is the remaining one. We're going to cut this with the buba, the sleeve, and of course the belt that we're going to be using for the wrapper. So what I'm going to do now is to open this up like this and then fold. Okay, the biggest part of the upper bodies is what you're going to use to fold. It might be the bust or the waist. Some children have big tummies, so if the tummy is bigger than the bust, you can use the tummy to fold. You're going to add 8 to 10 inches to the biggest part of the measurements. If you want it really free, you're going to add 10 inches. Okay, but if you still want it a little bit smart, you can add 8 inches because this buba will not have shoulder seam. So we're going to fold again into 4. So our length is 18 inches. Okay, 18 inches long. Okay, so I'm going to add 2 inches for the hemming allowance at the lower part. I'm going to fold one and fold another one. So 20 inches is what I'm going to be working with for the entire length. So I'm just going to fold here. Okay, so it doesn't waste. I don't want the fabric wasting. Okay, so I have it folded already. So what I'm going to do now is this is the length. I'm going to take the length I need. Like I said, the length is 18 plus 2 inches of my hemming allowance. That's 20. So I'm just going to mark it. I added extra because this part is not straight, so I can trim it out. Okay, so I'll take my length plus my allowance of 2 inches. Okay, at the hemming allowance. Okay, so now the next what we're going to do now is to take our measurement and neck width. I'm going to be using 2.5 inches. I'm going to use 2.5 inches by 2.5 inches because we're using the same neckline for both front and back. Okay, so this is it. Okay, so at this point you can decide to do any neckline of your choice, but I'm just going to go for a round neckline. Okay, go for a round neckline like this. Okay, so once you're done with your neckline, so the next thing is to take the body measurement. Like this is 22, so I added 10 inches so that the child can wear it for a longer time. So if we add 10 inches to 22 inches, that's 32, right? Divide 32 by 4, that's 7.75. 32 divided by 4 is 7.75. Okay, so I'm just going to mark it like this. Okay, all the way. So this is also applicable when you are sewing for an adult. Okay, if you are sewing an adult buba, it's the same thing, it's the same process, it's just the measurements that will differ. Okay, so I'm just going to mark it all the way to the hem line. So once I'm done marking, I'm just going to go ahead now and connect my points together with my rule. So it depends on how you want it, right? Like I said, okay, you can even make it bigger than this. There's no law that states that it has to be 10, but that's just the standard measurement. But if the person wants it bigger, you can make it bigger than this. So the next thing we're going to do now is to go ahead now and cut this out, cut the neckline, cut this out, and then we cut out the sleeve. Now let's put this into consideration. Our actual back measurement is 10 inches. Okay, so 10. So now 10, what we have, you're going to measure what you have here left so that you will know the length you're going to cut for the sleeve. So let us say that from here now, we just have to join the sleeve to the bodies. Okay, so let us say we have like extra 2 inches here, so we have to put that into consideration when we are cutting the sleeve. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead now and first of all cut the neckline. And notch this part. Okay, I'll notch here. Okay, to know where to attach my sleeve. Okay, I'll notch this part. Okay, so now let's cut the sleeve. This is the sleeve. So I want the entire sleeve length to be 8. Okay, so I'm adding 3 inches for hemming allowance, because of course the hemming allowance is meant to be bold. Okay, so 3 inches. I'm going to fold half and fold 2.5. Okay, so the entire sleeve length is 8. You know, we already got 2 from the bodies. Okay, so now what we need left is 6 inches. So what I have here is 6.5, because I use half inch to join it to the bodies. Okay, now for the wideness, our armhole is 11 divided by 2 is 5.5. So ease allowance, okay, ease allowance half, and then 1 inch for the sewing allowance. So that's what I have here basically. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut. I'm cutting both sleeves together because it's folded into 4. Okay, I have 2 sleeves here, so I will notch this part. Okay, so I'll just notch. So I have 2 sleeves here. Notch the middle. This is the neckline. I want to use facing to turn, so I folded the fabric exactly the way I folded this, and I cut it exactly out. Okay, so the length is this is 3.5 inches at the side, then this side is 3 inches. Okay, so that is what I have. So I just trim it out exactly the way I cut. So let's set this one aside. So this is the belt. This is the leftover fabric. I'm going to be using it for the belt. So now the length of this belt is 22.5. Okay, so and the width is 4.5. Okay, so I'm going to just fold into 2 equal parts like this. Okay, I'm going to fold it to 2 equal parts like this, and then I'm going to just shape it at the side. Okay, I'm going to just shape it from here now. So you can measure like 2.5 inches and then just shape. Hope you understand. So that is how to shape your belt. Okay. Okay, so that is how to shape your belt. So this is the belt. Now guys, let's move to the sewing. Okay, so we're going to be sewing everything together now. So this is the wrapper. Just turn off the light. So what I'm going to do now, for the wrapper, I will hem the upper part by, remember we added 2 inches. I'll hem the upper part half, and then I'll hem the lower part also, and hem this side. So the four sides is what I will hem. So I'll do the same thing to this daily, hem the fourth side. So now for the belt, I will fold into 2 like this. Okay, and then I'm just going to stitch it all the way to this part using half an inch. So I'll leave this part open and turn it inside out from this part. Do the same thing to these 2. Okay, now for the sleeve, I'm going to hem. Okay, so you know, remember we notched, so I'll fold half and then fold 2.5. Okay, for this sleeve. Okay, so I'll hem it all the way. I'll do the same thing to this second one. Now for this bodies, okay, so I want this video fast. Okay, so I'll open it up like this. Remember we have notched the midpoint, so I'll open it up like this. So this part is the shoulder part. Let me notch this part. Okay, this is the shoulder part. I'll notch it so that there won't be any confusion. So I'll open it up like this, and then I'll align it. Okay, this is the shoulder part. Arrange it like this. Okay, so we're going to take it to the sewing machine now. I'm going to use half an inch to stitch all the way around, and then I will notch it. Okay, so let me go and do all of these. I have gone ahead to hem the gele. Can you see? This is the gele, and I've ironed it. I hem all the sides. Okay, ironed it out. So this is the neckline. Can you see? I went ahead to sew it around, and then I notched it, notched all the part, and then flip it over and iron it. So you can use hemming gum later to hem it. So I also use my iron to iron the hemming allowance for the buba. Let's set this one aside. So these are the belts. I've turned them, ironed them in place. So these are the 2 sleeves. I've ironed them, hemmed them also, and I also ironed them. Okay, this is the wrapper. I've hemmed the 4 sides. Okay, so this is it. Now, so the next we're going to do now is to go ahead and attach our rope to our wrapper. So this is the wrapper. So I'm going to take the rope now and then place it like this. So you make sure that this part, this is the lower part of the wrapper. Okay, so I'm going to place it this way. It's either you fold it this way and then just place it under and stitch on it. Okay, like this, very well. Or place it this way, place it like this. See, you're placing it on the wrong side. Okay, on the wrong side, you sew like this, or then you now flip it over and top stitch, whichever you want to do. But make sure that this triangle part is facing the down. So repeat the same thing to our second belt. Okay, you are going to place it under. Okay, make sure that this triangle part is facing down. Place it like this. Is it that you fold it like this, place it on top and just stitch like this, or you fold like this, stitch down like this, and then flip it over and top stitch, whichever. Okay, so we'll do that now. Set this on aside. So this is the gele. So now moving to the sleeve. So we're going to go ahead now and attach our sleeve. So you could go ahead and first of all close your sleeve first. You can close the sleeve with whatever allowance. For me, I added 1 inch, so I'm closing it, and then you attach it. Or you first of all join it. You know, there's a notch here. Align it with this notch. Align it with the notch. Okay, and then we're going to stitch with 1/2 inch to this side, to this side. Okay, do the same thing, notch to notch like this, and then sew all the way, sew all the way. Then once we are done, we're going to now close the body. Okay, so when we are closing the body, we're going to leave like before we close the body, we'll stitch on this hem line. We'll hem it like this. So once you're done hemming, we'll now turn it to the wrong side and then just close the body. I hope you understand. You'll now flip it. That is after you have attached the sleeve. Let me just pin the sleeve in place so that you guys will understand what I'm trying to say. To the back like this. Okay, and then close the allowance from here all the way 1 inch all the way to the hem line. So once you're stitching it, you're going to stop 4 inches. It's just a slit at the side, 4 inches before the hem allowance. So we'll stop here. Okay, we'll sew it all the way like this and stop here. Do the same thing to this other side. For the neckline, you can use your bias to hem the neckline if you don't want to do facing. So you can also put your hemming gum at the neckline and iron it down for this to relax in place, not for it not to be, you know, flipping out. Okay, done attaching the belt. Can you see? This is it. See how neat it is inside and outside too. Same thing for the second one. So I've also attached the sleeve, close the sides, hem the lower parts. Can you see? So the next thing that you do is to hem this slit, 4 inches slit. So just fold half and then fold another half. And then you're going to go ahead and stitch it all the way like this. So I've already done that for this side. So I wanted to show you guys this other part before I do it. So fold and then just stitch like this. Once you get here, come this way and go back. Okay, so now let me show you something about this sleeve. So because of the method I used, you see this method, I had to join the sleeve first to the body before closing the side. So remember the allowance here is much, so this armhole is not going to relax very well. So what you do is just to go ahead and notch this part in a little more like this. If you notch it like this, the sleeve is going to relax properly. Okay, but if you don't, it's going to fold. It might not relax properly. Hope you understand. So just go ahead now and notch it inward like that. Okay, make sure you don't cut the thread, but just let it be closed so that it will be able to relax properly. And then you can put hemming gum here and just iron it down. So this is the final look of the Iro and Buba with gele. So this is a gele. Okay, see how big our gele is. Can you see? Okay, this is the Buba. Can you see? Neat front and back, neck, very neat everywhere, neat. And this is the Iro. Can you see? Very neat. Hope you find this video helpful. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share this video, and drop a comment. My name is Esther, and this is Q-Est Fashion Hall. Don't stop learning, keep learning, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.